Welcome everybody, my name is Xexor. Thanks for joining me. I have managed to set up an interview with Andre, who is working on Creach, the Depleted World. He is a game designer, a writer, a scripter, a poet, a lover, an astronaut. So thank you for taking the time today to join me for this interview. It's very generous of you. For a lot of people who don't know what the game is, it's an indie game being developed in Russia. The name is Creach, the Depleted World. So obviously this isn't just like a small region or anything. What is it that has been depleted from the world of Creach?
Our world, Creach, has its long and quite dramatic story, tragic sometimes, and so it came to the current state as a deserted, mostly deserted and depleted world, with a lot of dangerous places in it. And so we chose this name because, you know, like, it's not only about the world, but also about the people in this world. They also been depleted somehow. The player will reveal the true story of it. So yeah, that's it. That's about the world. Some words, just.
Okay, so it doesn't have to do with their supply of Coca-Cola running out or something.
Yeah.
No, okay.
This XXW interview is sponsored by nobody in particular.
Okay. Whew, at least we have to. Okay, good.
Yes.
Fine. It's good. Okay. Okay, perfect. Now Sterk is the main character you play. He is, I think, right? Just Sterk is the character you play?
Yeah, he's the main character.
And he's an older man, maybe in his 50s it looks like from the screenshots I saw. I'm not sure what his actual age is, but somewhere around. Yeah. Is it he's just looking for adventure at this point in his life, or is there some specific event or threat that prompts him to go out into Creach and explore it? What's kind of the idea there?
So Sterk is not an adventurous type of person, if you don't know this, because he is like some people who have passed the age of 40 or even 50. He's kind of a conservative person. He had his own background, like really tough life and some complicated relationships with his people of his tribe. He lives in the temple with his tribe, with his people. He knows them for his whole life and so on. So some circumstances occur, so Sek has to, he's actually forced even to discover some new facts about the world, and it makes him think that something's going completely wrong around him. And yeah, this and his love for the people he knows makes him discover new places and try to find the true story in the world. That's it.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. So he just kind of in looking at things has noticed something is wrong.
Yeah.
And so he's decided to go out and try to figure out what is wrong and maybe fix it.
Yeah, kind of that thing.
Okay. Perfect. Perfect. So he's not a coward like I am. Good. That's good to know. Playing a hero who is a coward can be funny, but usually difficult to finish games. Okay. So he is. So another question I did have was whether he was even from the world of Creach, and you've actually answered that. So he lives in the temple with his people in Creach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not hiding anything here. He's from this world. He was born in this world. Nothing strange. No portals or something.
Okay. So he's not going to grow a second head or something. As you go.
Yeah. Maybe.
Okay. Maybe.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know what happens in the game. That's kind of scary, actually. That actually could be awesome. You know, he could be like fighting one enemy on one side and yelling taunts at another enemy behind him.
We'll consider it.
That would be, yeah. Now the website describes a little bit about the game, and for those of you watching this on YouTube, I'll put the link to the website in the description of this video. At one point I read, try to remain human in this rough world. That's what the quote is. What is the ongoing threat while adventuring that you'd have to watch out for that maybe makes you not human anymore?
Yeah, well...
without giving spoilers, of course, obviously.
Yeah, I'll try to, actually. Along with some dangers like the creatures we've already shown in our updates, like golem or spiders or something, there are also some other dangers, and it's an ancient technology or mechanism, Sterkel face. He will actually call them magic, and the people of his tribe will call it magic because they don't understand how it works, this technology. We'll try to explain it throughout the gameplay and our story. So these technologies could influence his worldview and his decisions, and even himself, his inner traits, maybe. So, and the world itself is quite rough, as you have already mentioned in this phrase. So it's really could be tough to remain human in this world for Sterk. I'm not talking about moral decisions for the player right now, but the decisions Sterk makes can make players think about them, think about their life, maybe. Just sometimes how it's rough to remain human in not only in the world of imagination, like Creach, I mean imaginary world, but even in our world, in our own world, and so on. Some of that stuff, you know.
Right, cool, okay, yeah, no, that's really awesome. Thanks for explaining that. Yeah, I was imagining maybe he'd become like a cyborg, or he might become like a demon, start growing horns or something. So that's interesting. There's a lot of stuff that's possible, right? When you have an unknown, there could be some corrupting influence, or you say with new technology, maybe he decides that 2 heads aren't enough. He now also needs a couple of go-go gadget arms that go out and grab people or something, right? And that would be, man, I really should not be a designer for a game. I would make the weirdest game ever. No one would want to play it. Okay. I have seen some early videos on your website. Among those, I believe I saw one. I might be mistaken, but I think I saw one that was character creation, and then a different one that was selecting items in your inventory. Sometimes games will allow a lot of flexibility, like you can craft items, you just have items, and the game knows how they can go, what possibilities there are for putting them together to create an item you want. And in other cases, games will have small, minor modifications, like Guild Wars and Guild Wars 2. Both of those games allow you to dye armor or something a different color. So I guess what level of flexibility is there with equipment, if any? What can somebody do to, like were some of the images I saw or videos I saw just changing equipment because it had different statistics to use for Sterk, or was some of the swapping more cosmetic? You wanted him to look different, and so he, now is wearing something he could walk on a catwalk with, and everybody would be whistling and cheering about.
Yeah, I see that. Okay, so that's in simple. What you've seen is just swapping the items in the inventory. So different item is a different characteristic. So it even influences the movement speed and so on. So they can the old stuff can become actual later in the game and so on. So about the customization, like putting dyes on your armor and so on, and changing its appearance anyway. So we're not implementing it right now. So it won't be in the first released version of our game, but if the community decides and if we think it's okay with us, we can put it in our game, because I don't think it would be really difficult. So just making the appearance people love when they can make some nice looking character and so on. I think it would be cool, really.
Yeah. No, for sure, for sure. Thanks. Yeah, I would recommend, if you're going to add some flexibility to Sterk, I would recommend not allowing them to expand his chest. Just keep it the same the whole time. Probably you get weird looking Sterks if you do that. Yeah. So I think that might, yeah.
We'll try to keep it.
Yeah, keep it, and then it's more family friendly if you don't have a lot of that. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Oh yeah. So so related to that question, there's a mention about maybe being able to obtain an epic weapon, and so is that? I don't want secrets about that weapon specifically, but is finding items in the game or getting items in the game more of a you find them along the way or you find clues of where they are, or is there a crafting system where you can take a hilt from this old weapon and some ore over here and you can make your own new kind of a weapon? Is there really? It didn't seem like there was crafting in the game from appearances, but maybe there is, and I just didn't understand.
Yeah, we're not actually implementing a crafting system in our game. Not at all, because we did not just plan it to do this stuff. But about the epic weapon and the clues to find it and so on. Actually, we make different sidewalks in our levels, some secret corners, and if player wants to explore that, if he's interested in explanation of the world, in exploring, I mean. Yeah, if he's ready to do that, so he will be rewarded with some cool stuff like some artifacts, or maybe this epic weapon, if he finds it, if he gets enough lucky, or if we decide to put it in that place where he goes through. So yes, he may find this weapon, but just don't think it will ease the gameplay itself. It just looks cool and like a prestige, So yeah, so exploration of the world is key.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, so make sure you explore the world, everybody, and there may or may not be a weapon that will one-hit kill everything. I doubt it's going to one-hit kill. You probably have to actually do some skill to play and beat the bosses. Okay. Yeah, there were some really amazing bosses in the game that I saw. Also, there's the stone giant or something like that, and there was a spider. So it's really looking really good. I like it quite a bit.
Yeah.
So
in our version, actually, Stone Warrior is quite unbeatable. We can defeat it ourselves, really.
Yeah, I watched the video where you're fighting and it took like 3 attempts, and it's your game and it took like 3 attempts to beat him. So let's see. Okay, so generally speaking, it sounds like it's mostly a dungeon crawling kind of a game. Are there really quests in the game, or is it more of a just kind of like a freer? You just go around and see what you can find.
So it's both true, I think, because we have the main quest, you have to go there and beat the bad guy, or maybe not the bad guy. I've already thought about the question of morality in our game. It will be really difficult to decide whether the bad guy is actually a bad guy or not. A bit of spoiler in here. So, yeah, and so we have the main quest, and also we have some side quests, and the player is free to take them or not, and complete them or not. And as I'm responsible for implementing these quests, I try to make them like interesting and funny. Sometimes not only go there and kill 10 beasts and so on. I put some investigation, maybe, like find the killer, and it could be with some fun ending. I don't know how to explain it.
Tequila can always
here.
Can always be fun.
Yeah, I think yes, it's not an actual problem for this. So yes, the player will be free to, in the final version actually, he will be free to explore some locations, maybe return to them again and seek what he can find one more time. Maybe he has lost something, or I don't know. But in this version we are putting a linear quest. Like you've seen, the starting location is the temple where he starts. There is his village, the people of his tribe, some characters, and from there he can go to the ancient aqueducts, the location we're now working on in the moment. Yeah, so it would be linear. There is nowhere you can go aside of the temple and the aqueducts. But once we develop more locations, we'll put more freedom to the player. That's it. That's right. The point, actually.
Right. Excellent. Yeah. No, that's awesome. Yeah. Thanks. I like almost all games, so I'm down for whether it's just dungeon crawl or with questing. But yeah, obviously, for people on YouTube and so on, so they know what kind of a game it'll be. It's looking really, really sharp though. In either way. Now you said current version of the game. The game's being developed for PC right now, and it looks like there are plans to port that to Xbox One, PS4, and Mac, if enough money can be raised through donations. So again, everybody, I'll have a link in the description if you want to donate to help out the cause of the game, help them in their development. Please go there. I saw a PayPal link, and there may be another one or two options there. So go there, and if you can, donate, even if it's just $1 or a ruble or a piece of lint, whatever you can give, and then that will be helpful, obviously, for them in developing the game. Are you planning, let's see, are you planning on it being a digital download? That seems to be a trend for especially indie developers, just because places like Steam and GOG make it much easier. You don't have to worry about inventory and shipping costs and so on. So I assume it's probably going to be for digital download. Is that going to be on Steam or GOG or Humble Store or Desura, or do you have a specific idea in mind of where you would download a copy of the game, or buy it in a store maybe?
Yeah, actually we do. So it's all true about the digital download. We're planning to go into this option. So we're planning to launch a Steam Greenlight campaign soon. But also we may try GoogleGames.com, GOG.com, and Desura and Humble and some others. I think it won't be really bad for us, because they have different people playing their games, downloading their games via Steam or GOG and so on. And we think that our game is good. We're really excited about our game, and we think people will like it. So we just try to deliver it on every PC. And about this, we're developing it for PC, Windows right now. It's true either, yeah. So we're planning to port it on PS4, on Xbox One. As you said, it's all true. Yeah.
Excellent. And I'm happy to hear that you're excited about your own game. If you were kind of like, it's a game, whatever, guys, if you want to go get it, I guess, then I'd be a little worried. So that's good. I'm excited about the game. I'm looking forward to it when it comes out. So that'll be fantastic. Let's see. So along the same lines, currently language support is Russian and English. Do you have an idea, if you get enough funding or whatever you need for additional languages, do you have an idea of maybe some languages that you plan to do first versus others that may come after if you get more money. And before anybody on YouTube says so, I don't have anything against anybody from a particular country. Andre doesn't have anything against anybody from a particular country. It's more who can reach the greatest number of people. So stop your trolling and your spammy comments right now. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, so do you have an idea on coming languages, maybe, and what would come first?
Yeah, I see. That was a nice disclaimer, really. Okay, so yeah, we have our reasons for putting a specific order in our languages. So except for Russian and English languages, we'll need some people who will translate languages, the game into different languages for money. So here we need funds as well. So the order is flexible, quite flexible, but now we have the priority for Japanese language, then for some European languages like French, Spanish, German, then some other Eastern languages like Korean, Chinese, and so on. We will see how the funding goes, because we just want to put our game into all languages. We'd love to do it, but we need money for this. That's the key problem of translating. But about the order, one more point: if the community decides that they want some language first, like you know, a lot of Italian players maybe will start typing, "Well, why is this game is not in Italian? It's only in Japanese, Russian, and English. It's strange." We'll just translate it into Italian first and then go on, because the people want it, and we don't see any reasons why we just stop thinking about the players and start this translation in a specific order. It actually doesn't matter so much.
Okay. So if you guys want to help them out, let them know, obviously, as part of the community on their website. Let them know, or they're also on indiedb.com. So let them know what languages you want to see. So that means all of you Eskimos gather together in your igloo really quickly, and all of you at the same time, and they may translate into Eskimo. Okay. And there are various locations in the game. So you talked about the temple, and there are the aqueducts. Can you briefly describe maybe one or two other locations that you have planned? Maybe they're not done yet, but you think you for sure want to do these other locations.
Yeah, we've planned and we thought of various locations, like some castles and some deserts and so on. But I have to explain first why these locations are so different in our world. It's quite simple, because the world has, as I already said, its own story, and it had a conflict, a real tragic conflict in the past, and it changed parts of the world, some parts of it, dramatically. Like, for example, the desert used to be a flourishing part of Creach, like jungles or something, but it was deserted, like, you know, with fire or something. I can't spoil that, really.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Okay. So it used to be something like a jungle, but was maybe was somehow destroyed from some event.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Okay.
The player will discover it himself. So
right.
It's really interesting going through these locations and exploring why they have gone so far in the maybe self-destruction sometimes. So that's it. And I'm coming to the point that some parts of Creach are really deserted, destroyed, and so on because of that conflict in the past, and some remained flourishing, and they're quite okay actually, because that conflict did not touch them. So that's why locations are really different, like the Creach, how it is now, and the Creach how it could be, if not that conflict. So
right.
yeah, and so about the locations, we're planning to go through the aqueducts right now. It has its own different levels, you know, like in, I don't know, like in Diablo, maybe, Diablo first. It had a dungeon with a lot of levels. We don't have so much, but yeah, it will differ in some places. And also we're playing desert. It's a really rough territory with the sun, you know, the desert. We have not
Right.
on the Earth. We have plenty of them.
Yeah. Yeah, sadly, yeah.
Yes, and we're playing on a castle in the hills, maybe in the mountain, like a forgotten castle, where it's cold, it's dark sometimes. The castle is abandoned itself, and so on. Maybe some self-destroying mechanisms, huge mechanisms, like, you know, if you can imagine a huge watch and you walk through it, so it may be a location and some other stuff. We've really imagined a lot of different locations. We'd love to put them all into our game. Yeah, so, but we need time. We need some time for it. Yes.
Right. Excellent. Yeah, it sounds like you have some really exciting places to. And I love horror games, so it'll be when I get to somewhere like the castle, if it's creepy enough, I might turn the lights off and you know, that might be.
I think
you'll
cool. Like the aqueducts as well.
Yeah.
Especially the lower levels.
Nice. Nice, very cool. Now I don't know if this game is even going to go to ESRB or PEGI or one of those rating companies, but what would you, for people looking forward to this game, what would you say probably the recommended level in America, maybe? Because we have like different standards than the rest of the world. We're really weird and you know, like, oh, there's too much, don't do that or whatever. What would you say maybe for an American, what would you say the recommended level or the recommended age of the player should be, probably?
Well, for the gameplay itself, I think the age should not be really a huge number, because we don't have some major scenes like cutting heads off or something, and we don't have really horror scenes. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Yeah. So, yeah. That's it. But the story itself, as I see it, as I'm developing the story, actually, it has to do with people who, I don't know, who are elder than 14, maybe, who are able to think about things deeply, you know.
So maybe there are mature ideas, concepts.
Yes, that's it.
That may, especially if, for example, what you said before, if there are things that maybe make people wonder about moral choices, whether the moral choices are Stirk specifically, or if they are things that people in the past have done, there can be some questions about, you know, why are people so evil, or why would somebody do this, or is it better to do, you know, if there are two bad choices, which do I choose? These are things that you would not want somebody who's 6 years old probably confronting. So that makes sense. So maybe a teen game, or possibly even later, maybe an adult game. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only about the story, the audience that will be touched by the story. But the gameplay itself is not really mature. It's for teens, for adults, for everyone. Just a little blood, maybe. You know, like when you cut your finger or something, you see more than in our game. No real horror and so on. Yeah, I think you got the point.
So it's not as much blood as the first Gothic game. If you turn on the blood, you have like blood trail everywhere you walk. For like all the rest of the game, you like have to. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Excellent. I think those are all the questions I had for you. Thank you, Andre, for taking the time this evening. For you this morning. For me. To end the interview, did you get the lightsaber that I shipped to you? We were gonna have a little light. have a question. You didn't get the lightsaber. Oh, well, I guess we won't be doing a lightsaber fight this interview, everybody. Sorry about that. I'll talk to UPS and see why they didn't ship it. So, yeah, thank you for taking the time, though. It's very generous of you, and I'm extremely excited about this game, and I'll continue to follow its progress and look forward to playing it when it comes out. So, thanks for your time, and everybody at home, thank you for watching, and I will try to bring you more interviews as time goes on. Till next time.
Thank you.
Peace.